The Book of the New Sun is a series of 4 science fantasy novels, a 4-volume novel by the American author Gene Wolfe.Alternatively, it is a series comprising the original tetralogy, a 1983 collection of essays, and a 1987 sequel. Either way, it inaugurated the so-called solo cycle that Wolfe continued after 1987 by setting other multi-volume works in the same universe. Gene Wolfe had originally intended the story to be a 40,000-word novella called The Feast of St. Catherine, meant to be published in one of the Orbit anthologies, but during the writing it continued to grow in size. Despite being published with a year between each book, all 4 books were written and completed during his free time without anyone's knowledge when he was still an editor of Plant Engineering, allowing him to write at his own pace and take his time. The tetralogy chronicles the journey of Severian, a disgraced journeyman torturer who is exiled and forced to travel to Thrax and beyond. It is a first-person narrative, apparently translated by Wolfe into contemporary English, set in the distant future when the sun has dimmed and Earth is cooler. In 1998, Locus magazine ranked the tetralogy number 3 among 36 all-time best fantasy novels before 1990, based on a poll of subscribers. Placed within the genre, The Book of the New Sun belongs to the Dying Earth subgenre of speculative fiction, named after the Dying Earth series by Jack Vance. Substantially, that is fantasy, a science fiction set in a distant future when Earth's sun is dying. The setting commonly includes mysterious and obscure powers and events. Plot. Introduction. Refer to a summary of the first book of volume, The Shadow of the Torturer New Sun series. Each of the 4 original volumes won at least one major fantasy or science fiction award as the year's best novel. The tetralogy was not considered as a whole for any of the annual literary awards compiled by the Internet Speculative Fiction Database. The tetralogy was published in the UK by Sidgwick and Amp Jackson for the first volume, that was 12 months after its U.S. release, for the second volume 7 months, for the latter 2 volumes only 2 months later. The Earth of the New Sun coda novel appeared 3 months earlier in the UK, and the component volumes of subsequent series in the solar cycle, Long Sun and Short Sun, were published essentially at once in the US and UK. Since the original 4-volume novel, Wolfe has also written 3 short fictions and 2 book series that are set in Severian's universe. The Internet Speculative Fiction Database catalogues it all as the solar cycle, comprising the short works in 3 subseries. Language. The Book of the New Sun has been widely analyzed for its deeper meanings. Some of these analyses have been published, such as Michael Andre Dreyus's Lexicon Earthus and Robert Borchie's Solar Labyrinth. Wolfe makes extensive use of allegory within the series, as Severian is identified as a Christ, Apollo figure. He is destined to revitalize the sun and save the Earth, while at the same time destroying it. Adding further to the book's many riddles is Wolfe's use of archaic, obscure words to describe the world of the far future. In an appendix at the end of The Shadow of the Torturer, Wolfe explains that this is one of the difficulties in translating Severian's writing into English. An example can be found in Severian's Fuligan cloak, probably derived from fuliginous, an obscure and archaic word meaning sooty. Other examples are optimates, named for a political faction in Republican Rome, Acquistor, a spiritual being that appears in the works of Paracelsus, and Fiacre, a small carriage. solar cycle. Since the original 4-volume novel, Wolfe has also written 3 short fictions and 2 book series that are set in Severian's universe. The Internet speculative fiction database catalogues it all as the solar cycle, comprising the short works and 3 subseries. The 2 later subseries are the Book of the Long Sun and the Book of the Short Sun. Long Sun is set on a generation ship, and Short Sun features the inhabitants of the generation ship after the long journey. 2 of the Long Sun books were nominated for Nebula Awards.